Okay, friends, welcome. Today's topic is optimizing your real estate blueprint to build a massive wealth and success. So this is the problem today, and I'm going to show you how we're going to solve it. So today we're in the current crisis of the coronavirus, the stock market plummeting, and you are in the middle, right? So what's happening around you? What is it that you have to do to be successful in real estate? There are way too many things that you need to do in real estate to be successful. As you can see here in this picture, I love this picture, right? So today, most people are in charge of everything to be successful in real estate. So they're in charge of acquisitions, business development, admin, finance, disposition, marketing, networking, training, making sure they're educated, the CRM, the technology, transaction coordination. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are around you that they all need to work in harmony for you to be successful. So guess what? Guess who the biggest bottleneck is in your success? You guessed it right. It's you. So if something, for whatever reason, you're not able to do something on a daily basis, let's say you're out of commission because of the coronavirus, because of whatever, guess what? Your real estate business does not move forward. So what we're going to talk about today is how you are going to be able to overcome that big obstacle. So the objective is for you to pretty much extract yourself of the equation. So this is the objective where we want to be. So today you're in the middle. So you happen to be the bottleneck of your success, right? So what we need to do is we need to build a real estate machine, right? We need systems in place. Not only do we need systems in place, but you need also to delegate, okay, your tasks. So pretty much you extract yourself from the equation for you to be very successful very quickly, okay? Because if you remain the bottleneck of your success, guess when you're gonna grow? It's not gonna happen anytime soon, right? So this is what we're gonna be focusing on today. So we wanna make sure that we build a deal-making machine, and it's gonna be comprised of primarily two things. We're gonna need to delegate many of your tasks around you. Not only that, we're gonna need to put systems and technology in place, because it's just about time today, friends, that you extract yourself from the equation and you are not the bottleneck of your success. So the question is, how are we gonna accomplish this? We have a lot of dependencies around those. So how is it that we're gonna make it happen? Very, very simple. We're gonna use two things. We're gonna leverage from other people's time, and we're gonna also use technology. And then I'm gonna tell you towards the end our commitment on ChicagoDealVault's part to make it happen, for you to really extract yourself from this equation. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be leveraging, obviously, from other people's money, but primarily other people's time. So this is what I wanna explain to you very quickly. I've gone through these multiple times, but I just wanna make sure that you quickly understand where we need to be, right? So there are 4 quadrants based on Robert Kiyosaki. Either you work for somebody, so you have a job, or if you're a self-employed, like a contractor, an architect, and you work for yourself, then at that point you own a job. But the problem with these 2 quadrants on the left is that you are still running on the treadmill. So you are the bottleneck of your success. If for whatever reason you stop working, you stop doing what you need to do in real estate, guess what? You are not gonna make any money. You're not gonna grow. You're not gonna buy rentals. So that's a big problem. When you move over to the 3rd quadrant, which is the business owner, at that point, you're leveraging from other people's money, other people's time. But guess what? It's kind of expensive to buy into these systems. These systems, those are turnkey businesses where you need to invest quite a lot of money, primarily franchises. So therefore, we have 1 quadrant left, the 4th quadrant. And that quadrant is where you want to be, okay? So you want to be an investor, building a rental portfolio, because at that point, you're going to have your tenants working for you. So the question is, how do you build a massive empire of rentals, extracting yourself so you're not the dependent, okay? You're not the bottleneck of your success. So how do you do that? This is what we're going to talk about today. And this is so critical, by leveraging from other people's time. So we're going to be talking about primarily 3 platforms today. So we're going to be talking about Upwork, Fiverr, and Skype, okay? So what are these platforms? These platforms allow you to hire freelancers around the globe, okay, worldwide. And the cool thing about these platforms is that you can hire the top talent for the least amount of money. In fact, ChicagoDealVault was built on freelancers all around the world. So we hire the top technologists, the top developers, the top data analysts, the top deal makers from all over the world via Upwork and Fiverr. And we all communicate through Skype. So Skype is our communication platform, okay? Skype is sort of like WhatsApp for personal and business use. So we use Skype primarily for communication. But I want to talk about these 2 platforms, Upwork and Fiverr, okay? I'm going to tell you what the main differences between the 2 of them are. Upwork, you can hire long-term freelancers. Fiverr it's mostly for small tasks. Let's say you need a website, a logo, you need translations, you need skip tracing. That's what Fiverr is good for. But if you need an assistant to be working for you 5, 10, 15 hours, Upwork is the best platform to get them. And you can get people from as little as $5 an hour to all the way to 35, obviously, an hour for extremely qualified, lots of experience. So this is how you are going to be able to extract yourself from the equation to be the bottleneck. And this is what we're going to do for you. So I'm going to show you how you can get a freelancer from these websites very easily. In just minutes, we can post a job and then people can apply to it, okay? But what's going to be really cool about this is that we, ChicagoDealVault, are going to train your freelancer, okay, on the things that they need to do, which is what I'm going to show you next, okay? So I'm going to show you how you can extract yourself from the equation, especially nowadays with people working remotely. Guess what? This is the perfect opportunity for you to have somebody to work on your behalf, and you're going to be paying a fraction of it. And don't think about this as a cost, but it's going to be an investment. So people that I highly recommend are somebody who can speak English very well. Don't worry about the verbal communication, but at least writing communication. As a tip of advice, we have 4 people full-time in ChicagoDealVault from the Philippines. I love the Philippines because they can communicate extremely well if you need that one-on-one communication. Otherwise, my personal preference is Eastern Europe. So we found really sharp people in Ukraine, Croatia, so they can write and communicate in English extremely well. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into it and show you how you can find these extremely talented people for very little, so that we can train them on what they need to do in ChicagoDealVault. So let's just take a quick dive into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna log into Upwork, okay? So if you don't have an account, make sure that you create an account. Okay, so you create your user ID, your password, and then once you're in, it's very simple. All you need to do is post a job, okay? So this is what it looks like. And then here, we're gonna be posting a job. So let me just give you an idea. So we currently have We have a lot of contracts open, okay? And then it's gonna give you a summary for everyone that is working under you. So you may have 1 or 2 freelancers. So let me show you how this works. So you say post a job, okay? So this is what you need. You need, for now, we're gonna do a short-term part-time. Okay, I'm gonna continue. And then just select, type in the title, need real estate personal assistant, okay? And remember, this is somebody who has already some real estate background. On top of that, we are going to train them on everything that they need to do so that you are not the bottleneck, okay? Even if you don't have time to do anything related to real estate on a daily basis, guess what? Don't worry, because we are gonna show them what exactly they need to be looking at for you. So let me just quickly summarize. You need to focus on 3 things. This is where you're gonna be making money. Making offers, talking to sellers, and talking to listing brokers. Anything else that you do is gonna be overhead. So we're gonna hire somebody and we are gonna train that somebody for you, okay? Just to make sure that they do all the activities that are sort of like overhead that you shouldn't spend time. And on top of that, we are gonna give you one of our personal VAs or virtual assistants to find deals for you. So let me just go ahead and show you. Virtual assistant admin, so next. And then this is where you put in the description. Need a real estate VA. So VA stands for virtual assistant, okay? To help me find deals, analyze them, and make offers, okay? So they're gonna be able to do all of these on your behalf. Obviously, we're gonna train them for you at no cost, okay? And then, so next. So now this is a few questions. This is one-time project, ongoing project, complex project. So it's an ongoing, right? For how long? You don't know. And then you can skip these questions, screening questions, or require a cover letter. Just keep it simple. Next. So what are the skill sets that you need? Obviously, you're looking for real estate, anything that is real estate related, okay? So skills, real estate. Okay, so real estate, it could be generic. So you can just put real estate, that's it. Now, what type of individual are you gonna get? An entry level, intermediate, or expert? So my tip of advice is that you always go for the middle, so intermediate. So you don't want somebody that has no clue or who is starting in real estate. So you want somebody who is more seasoned. So I would say intermediate, next, and then worldwide. So it gives you the option to stick to the US or worldwide. Please select worldwide because you're gonna be able to tap into very talented individuals across the globe. And then next. Now, who can see this job? Obviously, anyone. How many freelancers do you need? Let's pick 1 for now. And then next. Now, we're going to be paying by the hour or fixed price. It's best to pay by the hour, okay? Because we're gonna have somebody working for you, typically for, you can start with 5 to 10 hours a week. That's about it. And then the hourly rate is gonna be about $6, $6 to $9. So think about this. The investment on a weekly basis, 5 days a week, 5 hours is going to be $25 to $50 at the most a week to have somebody dedicated for you. And we're gonna train that individual. So pay by the hour. And then, so the next question is, for how long is this project gonna last? Then you can say more than 6 months. Do you have a time requirement? So you say, I don't know yet, because it could be 5 hours, it could be more. So next. So that's pretty much it. You review everything that we enter, and the next step is to pretty much post the job, okay? So when you post a job, you're gonna have people apply for it. And then when people apply for the job, you can communicate via Upwork. They have a messaging center. So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm gonna go to the messaging center for Upwork. Through the messaging center, you can communicate directly with the freelancers right here. Okay, so you can communicate via the messenger, or what I typically like to do is I communicate via Skype, okay? So in Skype, I create groups. And in these groups, we have pretty much any subject, okay? From customer service, billing, anything. So Skype, it's the best communication platform to communicate with freelancers. And again, coming back to why are we doing this? Because you cannot be the bottleneck of your success. So we're gonna be using Upwork and Fiverr for you to find somebody with some sort of real estate background that we're gonna be training. And then Fiverr, again, this is a platform primarily for small tasks, okay? So in here, you can find, they call them gigs. So they can do small, simple tasks. So for instance, you can say, well, I need a website, or I need a logo, I need a skip tracing, and then you get right here people who can do it for very, very cheap. Now, this is my tip of advice. If you're gonna hire somebody from Fiverr, please make sure they are level 2, okay? Because to get to level 2, that means they need to be sort of very experienced in their subject. So I always go for level 2 individuals, okay? So anything that you can think of for small, simple projects, let's say skip tracing. You wanna do skip tracing, okay? You can find it here, skip trace. Then you're gonna find freelancers right here, skip tracing. Very, very inexpensive, okay, right here. But just make sure that you hire people with level 2 experience, okay? Service options, yeah, no, seller details. This is what I was talking about. So you have the options to do top rated sellers, level 1, level 2, okay? So you wanna avoid new sellers, for sure. Stay away from new sellers, these are newbies. Level 1, they are entry level. You want to stay with level 2, okay? I wanna make sure that you select level 2 people. Top rated, these are gonna be extremely expensive. So you can get extremely talented individuals with level 2, okay? So I'm just gonna select level 2, and then it changes, right? Your search criteria. So level 2, you know, the ratings, the stars are gonna be over 5.5. So this is my recommendation to do level 2. So in this case, we're looking for a virtual real estate assistant. So in here, boom. So this is how you can extract yourself from being the bottleneck of your success, okay? So right here, look at this. I'll be your all-around real estate virtual assistant rock star. And this is a level 2, okay? $5, so starting at $5. So let me show you what it looks like. So you go to the details, and then they tell you, okay, what is it that you need, how much time they're gonna take to deliver, but you wanna call, so this individual does cold calling, okay? So they have different packages. So this individual does cold calling and skip tracing, $10, okay? 1 day delivery, 5 hours of work. Check that out, $10. So the average hourly rate is $2, and this is a level 2. So once you build rapport with someone, so make sure that you give them a small task and then build up on that, okay? The key is to have somebody that you trust, and we are gonna train that virtual assistant so that not only are they gonna be able to do cold calling, skip tracing, they're gonna be able to do a lot more. In fact, some of these freelancers can do things way better than you can think of. In fact, I have removed myself from most of the day-to-day activities, and we have hired experts for every single area, because I realize younger people who are extremely dedicated to their work can do things better, faster than I can do, okay, or than anybody can do. So, and not only that, they can do that at a fraction of a cost. So these are the two platforms that I highly recommend that you utilize. Now, one of the things that I as I mentioned before, for communication purposes, I like to use Skype, because for whatever reason, if they stop using, let's say Upwork or Fiverr, then you don't want to be like totally disconnected from the virtual assistant. Therefore, you want to communicate via Skype with them, so that you can build maybe a team of people. ChicagoDealVault has 26 people all around the world. So behind ChicagoDealVault, we have hired 26 people, and you name it. They do from deal analysis, deal finding, communication with members, development, websites, CRM, social media, you name it, everything. So we've hired experts in each area. And nowadays that the crisis has hit and most people are working from home, for those who are very fortunate, then we leverage from these platforms, Upwork and Fiverr. That is why I wanted to talk about these, because to be successful in real estate, again, you cannot be the bottleneck. And unfortunately, in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, most of the people that I've met, they want to be a jack of all trades. They want to do it all. And guess what? That is impossible. Real estate is a people's business. And if for some reason you're out of commission, you're busy with your kids, you're busy with something else, guess what? You are going to put your progress, your growth at a complete stop, and that cannot be acceptable, okay? Therefore, you need to have a virtual assistant. And what I wanna offer to all of you is, no matter how many virtual assistants you hire, we're gonna train them for free, okay, on things they need to know, okay? Whether you have time to do anything related to real estate, it doesn't matter. We are going to train them. So one of the questions is on the chat, 5 hours per week only? Yeah, you can start with 5 to 10 hours a week. Why? Because when we train them, we just need 1 hour of their work on a daily basis, because I'm gonna show you how we're gonna train them. I'm gonna show you that in, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes, they should be able to identify a great deal for you. So you don't need more than an hour a day. Listen to me very carefully. You don't need somebody to work for you more than an hour a day, okay? If they know exactly what to do, because this is, again, the things that you need to focus on and what the virtual assistant needs to do for you. You, as the CEO of your enterprise, you need to focus on making offers. And guess what? Your VAs, you can also delegate making offers, so long the offer is approved by you, right? Because they need to run the deals by you. If you give the green light, then they can make an offer on your behalf. But you need to be engaged in talking to owners, talking to sellers, and making offers. That's where you're gonna be making the money. Many people question, well, Hugo, should I delegate cold calling to a VA? For many investors, it works great. But typically, that's something that I like to do myself. Why? Because it doesn't take much, and you really need to build rapport with somebody. Because even if a virtual assistant is really good at cold calling, that's something to me that it's best if you do. And guess what? You just need to cherry pick the top deals. So if you have, let's say, 5 great deals, why would you want to delegate 2-3 minute conversation to somebody else across the world? That's something that you need to do. And those are the 3 things that you need to engage in: talking to owners, talking to sellers, and making offers. That's it. VAs can find the deal, they can analyze it, they can present it to you, they can even formulate the offer on your behalf. right? They can do all of that because that is all overhead. That's something that is not gonna make you money, okay? Do you get it? It's not gonna make you any money. So that's something that they can do for you. However, you do need to engage in talking to owners, talking to sellers, talking to listing agents. That's where your biggest money for your buck is gonna be, okay? And your time. So once you hire a freelancer, this is now the next step is for us to train them. So how are we gonna train them? So I'm gonna log on to DealVault, and then I'm gonna show you exactly how we train our virtual assistants. So we have 3 full-time dedicated VAs to find deals for us and for you, okay? So this is what they do on a daily basis. And they work over 8 hours, actually 8 to 9 hours, because obviously we have a lot of members to service, okay? So we're adding more people, we train them, and this is what they're supposed to do. So the objective is to understand, first of all, to understand where you're gonna invest, okay? And not only that, but what type of a strategy that you're gonna take, especially in this market with the crisis. You should stay away from flips because your flip is gonna sit in the market. Right now, most villages are closed, so you won't get permits, no pre-sale inspections. So that's gonna be a holdback right now if you're thinking about doing flips. So you can postpone flips for now. So you should focus on 2 strategies, wholesaling and rentals. That's where you need to focus on, okay? So having said that, the first step is for your virtual assistant to identify great rental markets, okay? So this is where we're gonna show them. So we're gonna show them that based on where you live, okay? And based on where you usually work. Right now, obviously you are not going to the office, I assume. So we're gonna draw like a 10 to 15 mile radius from those 2 locations. And based on that, we're gonna identify the top rental markets. But let me show you how quickly that is. Can somebody give me an area where they live via the chat? And then I'm gonna give an example what I'm talking about. Somebody, I need a volunteer. Give me where you live. Okay, Chicago, Hazel Crest. Okay, so I'm gonna take the first one. Somebody say Hazel Crest. Oakland. Okay, so let me just give you an idea. So there's Google Maps. I'm gonna show you this cool site and I'm gonna send it via the chat. Radius, okay, this site. That is gonna allow you to draw a radius or a circle. So I'm gonna send this link to everyone via the chat. So I'm gonna show you how simple that is. So I need to type an address in Hazel Crest, for instance. Hazel Crest, and then draw a 10-mile radius, so new circle. Boom, okay? So the middle of the circle is Hazel Crest. So this is what you need to do now. So we're gonna zoom in a bit. So Hazel Crest is in the middle. Somebody happens to live in Hazel Crest. So right now, forget about flips, okay? So we need to identify what are the top rental markets around Hazel Crest. Because if you're gonna do rentals, there are rental markets and there are flipping markets, okay? So in this case, you're gonna need to take every single one of these towns like Midlothian, Oak Forest, Country Club Hills, Flossmoor, Glenwood, South Holland, Riverdale, and so forth. So we're gonna take all of these, and then what you need to do is go back to, or we're gonna have your VA go back, and then let's say Midlothian, right? Midlothian is within a 10-mile radius. And why 10-mile radius? Any area that you go beyond that, it's unmanageable for flips and rentals, and it's just not manageable. Starting, I would say the max, you should go as far as 15 miles. Anything beyond that is pretty difficult. So let me just show you. For instance, I type in Midlothian or MID, and then it tells me the approach. You see this column right here? It's right after the area type. It says cash flow. That means rentals, okay? So rentals, I'm gonna put in right here for everyone. When the report said cash flow, that means this is a rental market, okay? So right now you need to focus on rental markets. So Midlothian is a great rental market. So right now, you know, going back to the radius that we drew, so how long would it take you? So the next one is, for instance, Country Club Hills. So you go one by one, and this is what we're gonna teach your VA, okay? So country, I'm just gonna put in the first word, Country Club Hills, this is a cash flow, again. So these are great rental markets, and these are the markets that you need to focus on right now. Okay, so something that it's so critical that I'm going to show you in this on this screen is, or that we're going to train your VA, is look at this. So for instance, Country Club Hills, the sweet spot to buy a detached or single family home is 109 right here, this column, 109,000, and the rent right here for a 3-bedroom is 1,400. So earlier or before, I talked to you about the 1% rule of thumb. If you buy a property for 100,000, you need to collect at least 1% of that. 1% of that is 1,000. In this case, you're gonna be collecting for a 3-bedroom home, 1,400. That is a property that is gonna cash flow all day long. Very simple. So right now, Country Club Hills, it's a perfect rental market. Midlothian, let me go back to Midlothian. I wanna give you that, those numbers. So Midlothian, sweet spot to buy a single family home is 157, and you're gonna be collecting 1,500 in rent. So right now, it's within the 1% rule of thumb. So you're still gonna be cash flowing about 250 or so, but depending on the property. So this is, again, that is why this is a great rental market, Midlothian. Because what's a great rental market? A great rental market is one market where the property prices are still low, but yet rents are high, okay? So this is an example where you can buy a property for under 200,000 and still be collecting over 1,500. So that is the sweet spot. Friends, you need to buy properties under, I would say, 170,000, okay? But you need to be collecting rents between 1,500 and up. That is the sweet spot for rentals. I'm gonna repeat this again. You need to buy properties under 170,000. Those should be single family homes, okay? And you're gonna be collecting at least 1,500 and up. Obviously, if you pay 170 for a property, you need to collect at least 1,700, 1%, in order for you to cash flow positively. So having said that, that is just the first step. Somebody mentioned a great, Mark, thank you. Somebody mentioned, this is a great point somebody mentioned. As you can see, Midlothian, you see the area type is a C area. So something to keep in mind, friends, we categorize areas, A being the best, B being the most challenging. So we're gonna be focusing in the middle. In the past, before the crisis, we're focusing on BC areas. But today, because of the crisis, guess what? C areas have been hit the hardest because most blue collars, labor-intensive jobs are in the C areas. So these people may have lost their jobs or they're about to lose their job. So these people are gonna be potentially struggling financially to pay the mortgage or the rent. So you need to be cautious about C areas. I highly suggest to stick to B areas, okay? Because of the current situation. So A areas for rentals would be ideal. Why? Because you're gonna have more white collar people. White collar people have professional jobs that they get to work from home. So they don't lose their job. They're still making money and they get to work from home remotely, right? So they'll continue to pay their mortgage or their rent. So you wanna focus right now on B areas. Thank you, Mark, for that point. A and B areas are the areas where you need to focus on. So we're gonna, once you identify the great rental markets in an A, B area, near where you live or where you work, then we're gonna start finding deals. Now, there's another question is, wouldn't A areas be too high to purchase? That's a great question, friends. Indeed, some A areas are very expensive, but guess what? We are gonna find some great deals, and I'm gonna show you right now, tonight. We can find amazing great deals in A areas that are still under 175,000. In fact, we have two properties on the contract, one in Mount Prospect and the other one in Elmwood Park for under, one is for 160, the other one is for 150. So great A areas under 170,000. So you can still find great deals in A areas. So in A areas, the rents are gonna be 1,800 and up, okay? So great point. So there's still great A areas where you can find great deals, meaning under 170,000, and the rents are very high, 700 and up. Now, there's another question. Are these rental properties still being occupied by tenants? If so, can they still leave the property? So that's a great question. So we're gonna be pursuing some properties that might be occupied, okay? So you want to, right now, you want to stay away from occupied properties. I'm gonna tell you why, 2 reasons why. Number one, lending. Okay, right now, many lenders have frozen their lending practices right now, okay? Let alone if you cannot see the property from the inside, because most lenders require a physical appraisal. So they need to go inside the property to do an appraisal. So if they cannot get inside the property, you won't get funding. There are other lenders that they can do what's called a desktop appraisal or a drive-by appraisal, and they can give you, but not up to 90% of the loan. They can give you, of the purchase price, they can give you maybe 75, 65 of the purchase price. So you still need to come put down a big down payment. So we don't want to buy occupied properties, also because of the risk of people destroying the property, right? So they might be not happy, they might leave and destroy the property. You might need to do an eviction. Right now, all evictions and foreclosure process have been delayed at least 30 days. So obviously you can give them incentives to move out. You can do cash for keys. If you find a great deal that it's still occupied, you can still do that, right? But you need a property that you can have access anytime you need to, right? For appraisal purposes and for inspection purposes. Okay, so having said that, what is it that you need? First of all, you need somebody that we're gonna train, okay? And then what is that somebody going to do, right, in 1 hour? So I'm gonna show you. Once we show them to identify markets for you, then we're gonna find great deals, right? So we're gonna be focusing on finding off-market deals. So there are gonna be some pre-foreclosures that we're gonna find, and then also some bank-owned properties. But we're gonna find them in seconds, okay? And then we're gonna find these in some great markets. So for instance, let's find some in Midlothian, for instance. Midlothian is a C area. We're gonna find some with high equity, okay? Meaning that the owner owes very little, but yet the property is worth a lot. So we found 9 pre-foreclosures in Midlothian, okay? So now something to keep in mind when you look at these pre-foreclosures is the date, okay? The date when they file for pre-foreclosures. As you can see, the newest date is shown at the top. And you can click on the column to sort them, okay? So here, 2018, where I'm gonna click on the date again. So here, these are the most recent ones. The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 listings, right? So these just happened not too long ago. So my recommendation is from the date they went into pre-foreclosure, the foreclosure process can take up to 2 years, right? So if they are fairly new into the foreclosure process, these people might still be in denial, okay? So they may not be able to talk to you because they believe they're still gonna come current with the loan, but obviously that's not gonna happen anytime soon. But let me just give you an example. Let's just open this up, okay? So this is what we're gonna show your VA. Okay, we're gonna show to analyze, we're gonna open few of them right here. We're gonna open the second one. Let's just take the second one because this is a great property. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You should always favor 3 bedrooms over 2 bedrooms. They're gonna be more marketable. The rents are a lot higher, but this is an example of a great deal. Why? Because the owner, William, owes only $66,000, okay? And the property is worth between 155 to 171. So he's got over $88,000 in equity, 90,000 up to 100,000 in equity. So, and not only that, but he went into pre-foreclosure last July. Okay, it's been like 9 months. So he's somebody who will be motivated to take action because otherwise his property is going to go to the judicial auction. Although right now, all judicial auctions have been frozen for 30 days, okay? But still, this is a great individual that you need to follow up with. So what we're gonna show your VA is the next step is once we found a great deal, how do we make sure that this is a good deal? How do we analyze the deal? Well, it takes seconds to do that. We need to know 3 things. What's the ARV on the property, okay? So this property, we know the ARV between 155 to 170. We need to see the property from the inside to obviously assess the rehab amount, but based on the square footage and the size of the property, the rehab could go between 25 to 35, assuming it's a light to medium rehab, okay? It's cosmetic, nothing major, it's not a gut rehab. So you're just doing flooring, updating kitchen, bathrooms, light fixtures, paint. You're not putting a new roof, new windows. You're not redoing the electric, the plumbing or the HVAC. You're not touching foundation, just basic stuff. And then most importantly, this is the key. How much are you gonna pay for the property? And this is where many investors make a mistake. So we already have predetermined formulas that tell you how much you need to pay for the property, but you don't need to think, create or nothing. It's all right here. So depending on your exit strategy, so you can pay a flip price, rental price, wholesale price. So let me give you a tip of advice. Even if you're gonna do a rental, you need to always aim to pay the flip price. So the most we should pay for this property should be $85,000. Okay, friends? So the way you do it is they owe 66 plus late penalties and fees add at 10%. So maybe 70, 71, okay? And then you still have a room of 85, up to 85. So you can offer, let's say 85,000. So they'll have a sort of like a moving relocation package for them to settle somewhere else worth 15,000, okay? So at this point, what's the next step? Obviously, the next step is to analyze the deal, which we've analyzed the deal, and then now connect with the owner, because at this point, this is where you come into the picture. Your VA is gonna source all these deals. They're gonna analyze them. They're gonna present these to you. They can just put them in your favorites. Just click on the heart, and they're going to go into your favorites, okay? Once they are in your favorites, that means that we need to reach out to them. So very simple to reach out to them. You know, we give you the owner's contact information. So all you need to do, or the VA will make sure that they provide the phone number for the mobile, email if available. So at this point, we just need to pick up the phone and call. Now, something to keep in mind, exercise empathy today, because a lot of people are going obviously through financial, emotional distress. So we need to provide a solution to their problem. Their problem, you need to find out exactly, listen to them, what they need. Most people, if they need to sell their home, this is where we come into the picture. A lot of people will just want to stay in their home. If they want to stay in their home, guess what? We cannot help them because the only thing they can do is do a loan modification, okay? But we're not a loan officer or a mortgage broker, so we cannot help them. If they want to sell their home, we can for sure get this property on the contract, and then you have 2 options. If you get it at the flip price, you can either keep it as a rental or wholesale the property to another cash buyer, right? So you can have those 2 strategies right now available readily in your tool set, okay? Wholesaling and rentals. So once they analyze the deal, then you need to obviously make an appointment. So it's up to you if you want to have your VA do cold calling, call them, build rapport, and make an appointment, okay? That you can do, okay? Have your VA, and we're gonna give them the scripts. We have the scripts on how to talk to sellers. Let me just give you an example. We got on the phone, and then we're gonna say, hey, Mr. Williams, my name is Hugo, and I'm a real estate investor currently investing in Midlothian. So we're buying properties in Midlothian, and I just happened to realize that your property is in NOD. Did you know about that? So NOD means notice of default, okay? So, but you casually mentioned to them, did you notice that your property is in, you can say NOD or pre-foreclosure, okay? You casually say, you know, I just realized your property is in pre-foreclosure. Did you happen to know that? Okay, what's the objective of the question? The objective of the question is to gauge their motivation level, right? Whether they're still in denial or that they're truly motivated to take action, do something to sell their property, right? Or to stay in their home, whatever they need to do. So that is so critical. Either your VA can do, we can train them to do that, or you can do that yourself. We can train you on how to do that. So we have a series of scripts that we can give you for you to, the first step is to gauge their motivation level, right? Because if they're not motivated, the conversation is not going to go too far, right? Because they may say, oh, no, thank you, I'm not interested. Or where did you get my number from? So you can say, well, it's public information. If they happen to say, for instance, oh, you know what, I'm not interested, thank you. You can say, oh, William, Mr. William, but are you aware that if no action is taken on your part, that you will potentially lose your home? I can help you make it go away. Can we meet tomorrow morning or afternoon? Does that make sense? So you really want to gauge their motivation level, because all you need to do, your objective should be to make an appointment. It shouldn't be to make an offer over the phone, because you cannot make an offer over the phone unless you see the property from the inside. You need to see the scope of work that the property requires before you can make an offer, okay? And in fact, you see this square max allowed offer. How do we come up with this offer? Very simple. The formula is you take the ARV, you multiply that times 70%, and we subtract the rehab. That is why seeing the property from the inside is so critical to come up with an accurate offer amount. But again, this is just an estimation without seeing the property, assuming that it needs just cosmetic or light to medium rehabbing, okay? But obviously your objective should be to see the property from the inside. So you wanna make an appointment. So that's something that you can, what my suggestion is that you call these people to begin with. Call 5, 10, 15 people yourself. Okay, and we're gonna train you on how to do that. And then you can have your VA do that, just to schedule appointments for you, okay? I think you need to go through the exercise, and obviously the more you do, the easier it becomes. But it's very simple, as I mentioned. The objective is to make an appointment, because once we see the property, we're gonna give you the offer right here. Make offer, you see this button? So here we will generate a 2-page contract, non-invasive, non-intrusive. This is where you stipulate how much you're gonna pay for the property. So the most we can pay is $85,000. 85, 1, 2, 3. So you're gonna take this contract to the appointment when you make it. So it's very simple. Few contingencies for you to get out of the deal. It's got even your signature, your company name, everything that you need for them to sign the contract. And that's where you need to spend your time, friends. This is where you're gonna be making money. When you make offers, talking to owners, talking to sellers, talking to listing agents. Anything else should be done by somebody else, because you need to extract yourself from the equation, from the bottleneck. So I'm going to show you the objective. Okay, I want to show you today you are in the middle. Everything is just around you. So if you are not present, if you want to take a day off, the whole enterprise, your whole real estate business collapses. You cannot allow that to happen. Okay, you need to extract yourself from the equation. You need to build a deal machine, and we're going to help you, giving you the technology, giving you the training, showing you how to hire a VA that can work for you up to 5 hours a week. Okay, we're going to do the training, and we're going to train them on DealVault on finding great deals for you. And on top of that, we're going to assign a dedicated VA to you. Okay, on top of your VA, we're going to assign a dedicated VA helping you find great off-market deals. So all you need to do is send us an email with all the areas you're interested in, and we are going to assign a dedicated VA to help you find those great deals. So making an offer, that should be the objective after you've made an appointment. So now let's just find some great deals. I want to show you some under the shadow inventory. These are banked-on properties that we get on a weekly basis. So this week was just insane. We got 2,200 deals. So friends, and this number is just about to continue growing due to the situation. This is going to be a huge opportunity for all of you real estate investors, especially when you know your numbers and you focus on rentals. So let me show you the way that I do it very quickly. And this is how we're going to train your VAs. So what I like to say is just give me by county. Give me Cook County. Okay. And then find me the deals. So 600 properties. So what I like to do is I never look at the addresses, or, you can even click at the city and sort by the city. That is still kind of hard. I like to see them on the map, right? Because on the map, I can quickly identify, and that takes us back to the first step. On the first step, you need to know your top rental markets. By the way, Allsip is a great, it's a great rental market. So I'm just gonna click on this property, but I'm gonna show you. So this is a perfect example. So check this out. This property, it's a banked-on property. So the first thing that we're going to show you, VA, is location, location, location when analyzing a property, making sure that the property is nowhere near a river, cemetery, train tracks, airports, factors that are going to affect your property value, okay, or marketability. So far it's not in a busy street. It looks good. We do the street view, some apartment complex right here, but it's a single family home. Okay, it's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath in Allsip. We can buy it for, that's what the bank is going to sell it for, 113. Okay, and assuming it's in an okay condition that we need to put in 20 to 30,000, the most we should pay is a flip price of 100, a rental price of 118. So in this case, I would love to pay the flip price, but this is a fixed price, okay? That's what the bank is selling the property for. So my hope is that it doesn't need 20 to 30,000 in rehab, so we can pay the 113 and make up for a little bit for the difference between the flip and the rental price, okay? So it is that simple, friends. So for instance, this could be an amazing deal because Allsip is the second strongest rental market. Why? Because I'm going to show you quickly. The rents are super high. If I click on the rental calculator, look at the rent. $1,675, friends. What did I mention before? The 1% rule of thumb. If you buy a property for 113, you need to collect at least 1,100 in rent. Allsip, it's such a strong rental market. Look at this. You're going to be collecting 1,675 in rent, okay? So obviously your cash flow on this property is going to be over 400 a month, okay? Allsip and Berkeley are the two strongest rental markets right now. So obviously this would be a great property to get our hands on. So it looks pretty nice. And I believe it's a brick home. Yeah. Yeah, that's the subject property, friends. So this is a great deal. So let me go back to what I like to do is 685 properties. So what I like to do is I click on map view. So it's going to show me a map with all the properties. Since I know the areas, I just zoom in on the areas that I like. So right now I like to focus on A areas. But keep in mind, I want to pay less than 170,000. Okay, if we're going to be paying between 140 to 170, you should expect to do very little work on the property. Okay, so that's my rule of advice. If you have an option of paying, let's say, 90,000 for a gut rehab or 135 for a property that needs maybe 15,000 in work, all day long, pay 130. You are not in the business of construction unless you're a contractor and have a construction company. You're an investor. You need to think in and out quickly. Okay, look at these, friends. Look at the map. It's just saturated with awesome banked on properties, and this is just about to grow. So one of the things that I typically like to do, I'm just fascinated by great areas, right? So near north side. So for instance, just for sakes, I like to click on like A areas, right? I know these are super, super expensive, but just for sakes, because I happen to find a property for like 400,000 that all day long, the way it was as his value was worth over 750. So it was just a home run deal. So let me just go a little bit farther west. Just to find great areas. So for instance, this should be like somewhere in, this is in East River Road. Uh, so that's a condo. Let me go a little bit farther west, Donning. So Donning, this is 90, this is near O'Hare, Donning, Harwood Heights. This is a great area. So let me just quickly look at this. This is selling for 240. This is selling for 124. This is a condo, okay? This is a great area. 155, that catches my eye. Okay, let me just quickly look at this. 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 155. Guess what? This could be worth 235 to 263. This is a good deal, guys. This is a great deal. And then look at the location. So it's nowhere near like a cemetery. Austin might be a little bit of a busy street. Let me do the street view. So it's in the corner. It's this property. It looks pretty nice. It's a brick home. It's got a garage. Austin is right here. So Austin is a two-way street, but it's not super, super busy. But this property catches my eye because look at this. Purchase price 156, but the ARV could be up to 163. So let me give you another rule of thumb. From the purchase price to the ARV, you should have a spread of at least 75,000 to 100,000. In this case, 156. If this property is worth 250, 256, that meets the criteria. So this is gonna make sense all day long. That's it. You don't need a calculator. You don't need anything to analyze a deal. Just that number that I just told you. From the purchase price to the ARV, you should have 75 to 100,000 spread. That's it. When that happens, guess what? All the numbers, the rest of the numbers work. Look at this. If you're gonna buy this for a rental, pay the flip price, 151, is way under the asking price from the bank, right? The bank is asking for 156. We should pay no more than 151. So this is a great deal, friends, all day long. And assuming that the rehab is 20 to 30,000. So this is a great deal all day long. My little one just showed up. Gisele. So we're hanging out by the pool. Perfect. So this is a great deal that we just found, friends. And then the property looks amazing. In fact, this is what I'm gonna do because I really like this deal. It's a brick home. This is an amazing property. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Let me show you the rents. 1950, and this is just a 2-bedroom home. But why? Location, location, location. Let me switch back to the map. This is a great location. This is close to Portage Park. This is a hot area right now. Irving Park, 90, very Dunning, Harwood Heights, very hot area. That is why the rents are super, super high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this button that says inquiry button. This is how you are going to be able to communicate directly with Jacob. Jacob is the one who gives us this inventory, and he's connected to all the major asset managers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, is this available? Okay, available. Boom, that's it. So right now I have just sent an email to Jacob, okay? So he's gonna let me know if this is available, because we like, again, to buy properties under 170, okay? This is way in the, below the range that we like to pay for properties, especially for this neighborhood. As you can see, when you do the street view, it looks pretty nice, okay? And the rents are super strong, and this is a 2-bedroom. So think about the 1% rule of thumb. 1% of 156 is 1,500. So the rents is 1,950. So this is gonna have cash flow all day long. We have the spread of about 100,000 between the purchase price and the ARV, and therefore, you know, the flip price, the most you should pay for this property is 151. So it's way under what we want to pay. So therefore, this is just a great deal. Okay, so in a few seconds, this is how we're going to show you VAs how to identify great deals. So this is how I just find deals. I zoom in, zoom out. Let me zoom out a bit. I'm going to go a little bit farther south into the southwestern suburbs. Melrose Park, Stone Park, Berkeley. Oh, Berkeley, friends, is the #1 rental market. So let me see this. This is in Hillside. Hillside is a great also rental market. This is another Hillside property. Hillside 108. Okay, so that catches my eye. So this doesn't have much spread, friends. 108, ARV 150. Remember, there should be a spread of about 75 to 100,000. So we can analyze deals in seconds. I mean, 2-3 seconds. That's it. So let me scroll down. Bellwood. Bellwood is a hot area. So this is 100,000. Let me view the details. This is a little better. So 100,000 ARB could be max 160. It's not quite there yet. We need 75,000 to 100,000 spread. So I'm gonna skip it, okay? If you stick to that rule of thumb, friends, you will never lose money, okay? Stickney, these are also hot areas. Stickney, 159, I like that. So Stickney is also great rental market. So this is a great deal, friends. Look, 160, it could be worth 250. So the spread is 90,000. So this is an example of a great deal, okay? So the purchase price, the most we should pay for a rental should be 156, which is in the ballpark. We wouldn't be able to pay the flip price, but as long as we pay this price, rental price, we're still gonna be in great shape. Stickney is a great area. So I'm gonna show you a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Let me show you what the rents are gonna be. 1,800, you see that? So remember the rule of 1%, pay 160, you need to collect at least 1,600. Guess what? You're gonna be collecting 1,800. So in this property, you're gonna be cash flowing at least 250 to 300, at least a month. So this is how quickly we're gonna show your VAs to analyze deals. So again, I want to emphasize your strategy. Your strategy should be to extract yourself from the middle. You cannot be the bottleneck, okay? That's what's preventing most investors to be successful today. They want to do it all. No, never. You need to delegate. You need to have people do overhead, because all of that, everything that is around you is overhead. That can be done by somebody else a lot cheaper, more effective, and quicker than you can do it. I'm sorry to say that, but that is the truth. Around the world, you can find incredible talent, okay, for very, very low price that can do things incredibly well, okay? So this is where you want to be. You don't want to be right here in the middle, because you are going to be your own bottleneck, okay? So that's the objective. I just quickly show you what we're gonna be able to do for your VA. We're gonna train your VA on how to follow these steps to find deals and present these to you, okay? Because we're gonna go in more detail by filling out these calculators, the numbers, right? Utilities, well, that's gonna be paid, all the expenses. We're gonna fill them out, generate a report that the VA is gonna present to you, okay? And the deal is gonna show the flip exit strategy and the rental strategy. That's the presentation of that report that we generate is what the private money lenders or the hard money lenders are gonna be looking at. They wanna know how you got the ARV. They wanna know a successful flip and rental exit strategy for you to get funding. So we're gonna show your VA to present deals for funding, okay? That's what we're gonna be doing for you. So let me just recap. I wanna make sure that if there are any questions on the line. So there's a couple of questions, okay, that I wanna answer before we move forward. Have you ever bought a wholesale property and turned it into a rental property? Yes. We love wholesalers, okay, because they bring amazing deals to you. And in fact, that's something that you need to be careful. If you found a great deal, we call that the golden goose. Why would you want to give away the golden goose? Why don't you keep it for a rental yourself, right? So that is why we love wholesalers, because we bought several properties from them at a great price. In fact, recently, not too long ago, maybe month and a half ago, we bought a property in Ukrainian Village for 110. We bought it today. 2 weeks later, we put it in the MLS. We cleaned that up and we sold it for like close to 200,000. So you can imagine the spread without putting much work into it. So that's called wholesaling. You don't do it anything to the property. We just put it back on the MLS for a big profit. Okay, so yeah, we've done that before. And then another question: how do you get around the wholesale law that Governor Jelly Beckley passed? Okay, so the wholesale law states that you need to be a real estate broker to be able to wholesale properties. So you can work with our preferred partners. So let me show you. So all you need to do is look for real estate broker. So we have Frank Montreux from Keller Williams. He's gonna help you wholesale properties because you need a license to wholesale deals. You can wholesale one deal a year, but if you wanna do more, then you need to work with a broker, okay? So he can do the transactioning for you, and they're gonna charge you just a fee, 2-3% fee, okay? Another question is, but I highly suggest that if you're gonna be thinking about doing wholesaling more than part-time, then just go get a license, a real estate license. Another question is, does the 1% rule include insurance, taxes, etc.? Yes. Buy a property for $150. If you get in rent $1,500, it's gonna cash flow. This is just a rule of thumb that works amazing, friends. Just follow that. Then another question in DealVault, it says status sold to plaintiff for 156, starting bid, auction date. Okay, so this is a property. There's a question on this property in Austin. So let me show you. I'm gonna pull this up in DealVault, 3325 North Austin. So I'm gonna do a power search, 3325 25 North Austin. Okay, in Chicago. So let's see what we can come up with. So if the property says, if DealVault says, okay, this property in Austin, okay, so we found it in, this is in the shadow inventory. So this is bank-owned property. So in DealVault says it's sold to the plaintiff for 156. So that means that it went to the judicial auction and nobody bought it. So it went back to the bank for 156,000, okay? So it became an REO. And then the banks are not in the business of real estate, they're in the business of lending. So what the bank is going to do, the bank is going to send this property in Austin to the auctioning platforms like Hubzu, auction.com, and so forth. So guess what? We can intercept that property. Even if it's in the auctioning platforms, we can buy them from the back door. Even if people overbid each other, it doesn't matter. We can buy them at this price, at the target price, which is the bank's reserve. So this is how much the bank took it back for, and that's how much the bank is going to sell it for. So guess what? That's the bank's reserve, and that's how much we can pay for it. If we let this property go to the auctioning platforms, it's just going to go a lot higher because people are going to overbid each other and overpay for the property. Okay? Now, another question is, how do you pay for the VAs? You pay through the Fiverr or Upwork. That's how you pay them. You have a contract with them and you pay through those platforms. Now, there's another question is, what is acceptable funding for bank-owned properties? Okay, can you wholesale bank-owned property shadow inventory? So what's acceptable for them is a line of credit, okay? So you can go to a Harmony lender, and we have them right here in DealVault, okay? So you can go to Harmony lenders, right here, Harmony lenders, and then request a line of credit. It's just a documentation. They're gonna ask you for your liquidity, and based on that, meaning your cash reserves, your pension plans, and based on that, they're gonna multiply that times 5 or 10, and they're gonna give you a line of credit. Okay, you qualify for, let's say, $500,000. That's what the banks are gonna require for you to buy properties. Now, the next question is, can you wholesale bank-owned properties? Yes. For these properties that I show you, the shadow inventory right here, you need to buy them first, and then you can do whatever you want with them. You need to follow through on the transaction, because what we're gonna do is, we're gonna have our connections from Jacob, pull strings, get them from the back door. Once we're able to get these properties from the back door, then we need to follow through, meaning we need to buy the properties, and then we can wholesale in the properties, we can fix them, we can rehab them, do whatever we want. Okay, now this is a great question. Are these properties free and clear from other liens? Yes, when you buy properties from this inventory, bank-owned properties, you are going to get a special guaranteed deed. Okay, so it's free of encumbrances and liens. Yes, you get a clean title, and plus your attorney is going to have title insurance. So that guarantees that you're gonna get a special warranty deed. It's not going to be a general warranty deed, it's just going to be a special warranty deed, which means, in other words, that you are guaranteed that you are getting a property that is free of liens and encumbrances. Okay, so yeah, that's a great question. When you buy REOs, you're gonna get clear title on it. Okay, so no encumbrances. So great question. Any other question, friends? So this is how we're gonna be able to help or train your VAs to make sure that they do all this overhead, right? Because you don't need to do what I just showed you. They can do this for you, and way better, way faster, and way cheaper. So you are not the bottleneck of your success. You need to create a deal machine. Whether you have time to access the computer or not, it doesn't matter. Somebody else earning a fraction, $5 to $9 an hour, can do this for you. Not only that, we are going to train them. We are going to make sure that they work, they think, they give you what you need, okay? They look for awesome deals based on your market. Okay, where you live, where you work. We're gonna find great or the top rental markets for you. Okay, so I want to make sure that you focus on the 3% of the activities that are going to make you money in real estate. And again, that is making offers, talking to owners, talking to sellers, talking to listing agents. That's where you're going to be making money. Anything else that you do is not going to make you money. So everything that I did today is awesome, but it's still not good enough. You need to take the next execution step, which is making offers. So that is why, you know, this property that we found in Portage Park, I sent a message to Jacob. I want to see if it's available, because if it's available, we want to pull it from the back door. So we want to make an offer. We're going to get it on the contract. And that's the beauty about the shadow inventory that I show you, that we can pull it from the back door. We like it. We sit in front of the line. No competition. We buy it directly from the bank. Whether it's a small, big bank, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to give you that ability. For you to have access to the shadow inventory, you just need to be a yearly member. If you're a monthly member on a month-to-month membership, just send us an email to upgrade to the yearly, and then we'll right away enable that inventory. So if you need access to the shadow inventory, please email us to upgrade to the yearly membership. So in the yearly membership, you're gonna save 15%, okay? So instead of paying $140 per month, you're gonna pay $120 per month, okay? If you do the yearly, I'm typing this in the chat, okay? So you're gonna be saving money when you do the yearly. Not only that, we're gonna give you the benefit to be able to buy properties from the back door. And let me tell you, if all this did was to give you the final push to be more successful, would it be worth it? Is that a yes or a yes? Of course, right? If all this did was to give you the ability to have that financial freedom or freedom of time, would it be worth it? Is that a yes? Of course, a yes or a yes. If all this did was to give you only one home run deal a year, one home run that is worth 50, 60,000, would it be worth it? Of course. Of course. Is that a yes or a yes? Yes. So I want to make sure that all of you have the ability to buy awesome home run deals without any competition. That is why we're making this inventory available to all of you. Once you become a yearly member, all we're going to need from you is your line of credit and your entity docs, meaning your S Corp or C Corp or LLC docs, and that's it. Jacob is gonna call you. He's gonna vet you. He's gonna have a one-on-one conversation with you, making sure that everything is okay, that you're gonna be able to follow through with the deals, and you're good to go. Now, another question: do these bank-owned properties are free of tenants? Great question. Some of these, as you can see in the map, they say occupy, right? But guess what? What I usually like to do is when I find a great deal, I drive by. Even if it says occupied, most of the times they're not. So sometimes this is not accurate because tenants or owners have already left the property, so they're vacant. Again, you want to pursue properties that are vacant, okay, not owner occupied, because you're not going to get funding. Plus, evicting people is not going to happen anytime soon. They can vandalize the property. It's just way too risky. You don't need those headaches. Okay, make sure that you go see the property. You need to do your due diligence. Once we give you the inventory, every week we're getting at least 1,200 properties. This week we've got 2,200 properties. Imagine that. Can you find a great deal? Of course. I just found a couple of deals, great deals for you tonight. So friends, the opportunities are limitless. The sky is the limit. Okay? So please take advantage. Make sure that you do have access to this inventory, and please hire a VA. Even if it's for a week, we're going to train them. Okay? We're going to spend about an hour with them, and we can spend as many trainings, one-on-ones as needed with your VAs to make sure that we get them up to speed. I want to make sure that you are not the bottleneck of your success. I want to make sure that you are extracted, that you have freedom of time, and obviously on your way for financial freedom as well, okay? So friends, I have my personal assistant right here. She is my VA. She helps me find deals, analyze them, right, Giselle? I think she's hungry. She wants to go to the pool, friends. But it's okay. It's all about you. It's not about me. It's about you. I want to make sure that you are on your way to build $1 million empire in rentals, friends. So please, I want to make sure that, first of all, you have access to DealVault. If you don't have access to DealVault, don't worry. I'm going to give it to you for free for the next 30 days. How do you do that? So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to send you the link how to do that. So we're going to give you DealVault for free for 30 days. So go to ChicagoDealVault.com, click on sign up, or just scroll down. I'm going to show you how to do that. Click on any of the tables here, get started, but I'm going to send you the link, okay? This is the registration form. Okay, that's a registration form to get the 30-day free trial. Now, in the select package, make sure that you select in the package, I'm going to type this in, select special Chicago DealVault. Okay, and the promo code is going to be, let me send this, and the promo code is going to be Vallarta. Okay, so promo code is going to be right here, Vallarta. It could be lowercase, uppercase, it doesn't matter. Vallarta, okay? So that's gonna give you free 30-day trial, okay? After that, after trial is $140 per month, okay? And then you can cancel anytime. There's no commitment. You have nothing to lose but the stress and headache of trying to find deals, analyze them. So please make sure that you have access to, you know, the free trial and also the shadow inventory. If you still don't have access to the shadow inventory, just send us an email to support@ChicagoDealVault.com, okay? And then just in the subject, just say upgrade. Subject, you can just say upgrade. Upgrade to Blue Angel. We call it Blue Angel, okay? Because you're gonna be flying a Blue Angel. That's it. We have your billing information. We are going to be able to upgrade you to the Blue Angel.